The diets that will not keep you lean in 2026.
Anything like keto, carnivore, fasting, slimming world, a restrictive set meal plan, it can get you lean because it is forcing you to make a massive change to your normal routine. It's basically putting you in a calorie deficit. That is all it's doing. The reason why we are so against these things is A, definitely don't have to go to an extreme like that. B, you're never going to keep the result that you get, so it's just wasted time and energy.
Here's the issue, right? If you're just following that plan with no understanding of calories, no understanding of energy balance, you actually don't know how to bring in the normal stuff. So we're not saying these things don't work. We will potentially use similar kind of methods, but we'll also educate people on why we're doing it, the ins and outs of it, and how to come away from it.
Any person that you follow that is in good shape and has been in good shape for a lot of years and you follow them for a long time, the chances are all of them will understand calories, macros, how to track the food, how to be flexible with it, how to work things in, how to diet.
So all the people who do this, the Liver King, they get found out, and like that's where people start to realize it's a load of shit and they just disappear.
8 o'clock in the morning, I'll have fish and a rice cake.
The diets that will not keep you lean in 2026, and just anytime, really.
Yeah, this is the thing. No, we'll keep the 2026 because then next year, all we do is we just say in 2027.
Right, okay,
and then we just rinse and repeat.
Yeah,
and we just rinse and repeat the same episodes.
I do feel like it's very clickbaity when I say 2026.
Yeah, we
It's
can
like,
probably get rid of that now.
Yeah.
I think around the end of the year, it makes sense because you're kind of setting a few things up. I think now, it's yesterday's
it's
news.
just any time, really.
It is any time.
It's just any time.
Welcome back to Fish and a Rice Cake. I'm Jake. He's Jake. And we are back again to talk about, no one's got rid of us yet, how you can drop some body fat, build some muscle, nutrition, training, physique, all that kind of stuff. And also, every now and again, we might talk a little bit about how we've built our own coaching businesses over the last 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And some stuff we do around that, but not today.
Correct. But how are you, mate? Anyway, how's things?
I'm all right. Do you know what made me laugh yesterday?
Go on.
I was watching the big fat quiz of telly.
Okay.
I've
never watched it.
Oh, mate, it's fucking brilliant. I mean, they do big fat quiz of the year. That's very good. It's like a Jimmy Carr host. It's like a quiz for the end of the year. And then they do another one a couple of weeks later, which is like the big fat quiz of telly. And one of the questions on it was basically, what did this bodybuilder say on BBC Three? Like, I don't know how many years ago it was now. What was the phrase that he used that made him famous and has since like stuck with him? And then they played the
It's got to be
clip.
fish and a rice cake.
They played the clip of Fish and a Rice Cake, and there was me and Soph in the room, and Soph straight away just like turned and was just like, all I can think about is
Brilliant.
a podcast when I hear that now. I'm like, good, that's what we want. Stolen IP. But yeah, it just made me laugh.
Brilliant.
It must be such a long time ago. I think we have spoken about this before, obviously, because
It must be 15.
that'd be longer than that, mate.
Maybe even longer.
I reckon.
You reckon?
I think so.
But he's like, have you seen him now? He's actually massive.
Yeah.
And he's obviously he's got his fish and a rice cake brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because
He's actually got, because the chef sent us
Chef sent us
the
a
actual
few,
rice
didn't
cakes.
they? That's when we'll know
Brilliant.
this podcast is actually getting an audience, because someone will get in touch to say you can't do that. You can't use that audio clip.
Yeah.
Until then, we can just keep being
rinsing
unsuccessful.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
just
fine.
keep rinsing
They're
it.
absolutely fine.
Yeah. Can't copyright it, can he? Can he?
I don't know. It'd be more BBC property.
Maybe someone
I
tell
imagine.
us. Yeah, hey, do you know anything about law? Maybe. Tell us.
Let's get a solicitor on for an episode. But yeah, apart from that, not really much to report, mate. We've had Christmas, we've had New Year, we're back into the swing of it with check-ins and everything now, aren't we?
We certainly are. Last week was very, very busy. It was like one of them weeks where I know you will have been exactly the same, but even at the weekend, because obviously I'm very grateful for this, but lots of new sign-ups and stuff.
I spent all day yesterday doing setups.
Yeah, I did the same. So like, I was up at 6 a.m. on my Sunday morning doing setups, and then I needed to write training programs. Had to do that again this morning as well. Got up like 6 this morning to do some training programs. But yeah, it's great. I mean, listen, like, it's why we came into the industry, innit? Like, so
it's a nice problem to have. And look, we're able to do it literally from our house at our desk with a coffee. There's worse jobs, isn't there?
with crying children around.
yeah. Or crying children checking in. But that's, no, that's not. Before any of my clients take offence to that was not aimed at anyone in particular. But yeah, apart from that, it's just been that, getting back to normal after the new year. It was quite nice.
I think everyone craves a bit of structure, don't they? Like, as much as I enjoy the downtime, and like I do enjoy the downtime, don't get me wrong, by the end I was like itching to get back. I was back on my laptop doing a few bits. I was like, do you know what I mean? I start to like get a little bit like, need to start doing some stuff. And because of the way it fell this year as well, it was quite a long
Yeah, it was.
break.
I did a bit of sort of the week between Christmas and New Year. I did do check-ins for people, but I very much was just like, if you want to check in, do it on, I think it was the Tuesday. I was like, do it on the Tuesday, send everything to me on WhatsApp. I will sit down on Tuesday, open my laptop up, look through the chats.
That's what I said to my guys. I said, listen, like, I'm there if you need me. Like, I'm not expecting a check-in. I gave people targets for the Christmas, New Year period, but I'm available. Like, I want you to know that I am.
Yeah. I think I had about 10, 15 check-ins, literally about that. And they were, and again, they were all the same pattern of, it's been Christmas, not much to chat about, ready to get back into a routine. I know what I need to do. I've got my targets. We'll do it next week. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah, literally that.
Yeah.
Which is, like I say, from a coaching perspective, it's the one time a year you can chill out a little bit because your clients kind of know what, like, they're enjoying the Christmas period, which is fine. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, even with my own training and stuff, because I was fucking poorly over Christmas as well, which was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I had norovirus on Christmas Day, which was super
nice.
Yeah,
oh, that's lovely.
Won't go into too much detail, both ends. And then
too much detail.
And we had like a bit of flu going around the house. Like, we in hospital with Brody like 3 times.
I remember you mentioning it. Fucking everybody,
mate.
Everybody has had it. Like, I'm not all my check-ins, but I reckon, no exaggeration, 70% of my check-ins this past week have people been like, I've just been wiped out. Oh, I'm still currently wiped out.
So much of it, yeah. So much of it. Luckily, we all kind of recovered in time. We went to the Cotswolds for a few days, and that was nice. But actual Christmas Day and things was a bit of a write-off because of that, which was a bit shit.
Yeah, literally. Not a lot of fun. Yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
The diets that won't keep you lean. Full stop, brackets, in 2026.
2027 or 2028.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about that, and more so the reasons they won't keep you lean.
Yeah.
Because they can get you lean.
So this is the thing, right? We're not just going to shit on diets like... No, we are. That's a lie. We are definitely going to shit on these diets, but with a caveat that anything like keto, carnivore, fasting, slimming world, a restrictive set meal plan that's generic and you get given, anything like that, it can get you lean, and probably if you stick to it will get you lean, right? Because it is forcing you to make a massive change to your normal routine. It's basically putting you in a calorie deficit. That is all it's doing, and you'll get some results. The reason why we are so against these things is, A, you definitely don't have to go to an extreme like that, certainly like carnivore, for example, to get that result in the first place. But B, you're never going to keep the result that you get, so it's just wasted time and energy, because you are not going to then, for the rest of your life, now want to only eat a fucking steak or raw liver or whatever the fuck it is to keep the physique that you've got. It's just not going to happen.
Correct.
So this is where the problem comes in. So it's not that they can't get you lean. Like, people say, oh yeah, but my mate lost loads of weight. Well, he will have done.
Yeah.
But when did that happen? 6 months ago. Where is he now? He's put a bit
think about what, especially things like carnivore, keto, like essentially all they're doing is removing food groups completely. So
that's it. We've got fat loss is just calorie
deficit, right?
And it's not that simple to do. It's that simple to say, though, right?
Yes.
And it is just that. Be in a calorie deficit, eat less food, expend more energy than you take in, and you will lose weight. Full stop. And these diets are just, as is what we do with coaching, are just one method that will put you in that calorie deficit to get that outcome.
Correct. The issue that we have with these said diets and said methods is that although they will work, because, as Jay said, they're putting you in calorie deficit, they're just, and I hate the word unsustainable, because no diet is really supposed to be sustainable, but they really fucking are unsustainable. Because if you think about it, I mean, most people watching this, I'm assuming, are relatively normal humans who've probably got some form of a life. You might have kids, family, friends. You probably go out for a pizza every now and again. You might want to drink every now and again. You might want to enjoy social situations. And the vast majority of these diets, well, not the vast majority, every single fucking one of them, don't allow you to do that, right? And this is the problem. So for a short period of time, I truly believe that anybody can grit their teeth and get themselves through a 8-week phase of keto. I really do believe that anybody can do that. You say, right, 8 weeks I'm going to do keto. Cool. I promise you do that, because of the fact that it is literally removing full macronutrient groups and food groups and restricting what you can eat so drastically, you will lose a fuck ton of weight. Absolutely no denying that whatsoever. But what after?
Yeah. It's just starting it.
What happens when at the end of you've done your diet, your missus turns around to you and says, oh, you know how your diet's over now and you've lost your weight? Should we go for a pizza? I'd love a pizza. I can't do that because I'm keto now, aren't I?
Yeah. And it's not that just suddenly like you get that result and you think, right, keto's done, back to normal. Everyone has the intention of being like, right, cool, I'm just going to maybe slowly introduce a couple of things and I'll try stick to it for most of the time and I'll have a bit of balance. There's always the best of intention, and that works okay for a few weeks, but just slowly but surely that snowball just starts to gather momentum, and then it's like it goes from I'll stick to keto 5 days a week to I quite like having a bit more food on a Monday to set me up, so I'll do it for 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then there's like a midweek thing at work in the office where everyone gets fucking sandwiches or some shit, and then it just slowly snowballs back up. And like we've seen it happen time and time again. Yeah. And I've had clients come in to me being like, I want to lose weight. I've done keto in the past. It's worked really well, lost loads of weight. I need to lose weight again because I've put it back on. So I just need some help, give me some structure with how to go keto. And I'm like, well, you don't, because it's not really worked. Yes, it's got you lean, but you're back to square one, right? So it's
a diet is only really worked if you keep the weight off, right? Yeah. Otherwise, what's the fucking point in losing it in the first place?
Yeah.
And again, listen, like we're not also
but we use these.
I was just about to say that we do use these approaches where it's necessary.
But apart from carnivore, I don't think I've ever told anyone to go carnivore for.
No, not at all. I've never even used the terminology right with my clients, but I might give them like protein modified fasting, which is not far off, and like there's some other things. So like, do you know, I'm not saying that these aren't techniques and tactics that you can potentially implement to help you stick to a calorie deficit, because they can really help, especially again, like if you're going down the route of just removing complete food groups, it actually makes sticking to things really easy. I remember when we did that carnivore day. Was it carnivore day?
We did the carnivore day.
And I remember doing my food shop. It was like the easiest fucking food shop you'll ever do, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it really is. So it removes a lot of that decision fatigue and that stress. Again, it's just how realistic that is for the long term. I still use things like, I've done quite a few setups this week where I've done like hybrid meal plans, things like that. I would not want my clients to follow a meal plan forever. But what it might do is it might help people get some momentum for a starter, might help them to understand how to start structuring the day if they're following a meal plan. And then eventually you can bring in the flexibility. The problem is, I think most people, like I say, with the ketos, the carnivores, the similar, whatever it might be, is if you don't have that exit plan afterwards of like, how am I going to come away from this? How am I going to bring in stuff? And here's the issue, right? If you're just following that plan with no understanding of calories, no understanding of energy balance, you don't know, you actually don't know how to bring in the normal stuff. So for us, we're not, again, I think we have to be really clear, we're not saying these things don't work, because we will potentially use similar kind of methods, but we'll also educate people on why we're doing it, the ins and outs of it, and how to come away from it. Yeah.
And I think like the proof's in the pudding a little bit. If you look at any sort of longer term, I'll say influencer or anything, any person that you follow that is in good shape and has been in good shape for a lot of years, and you follow them for a long time, the chances are all of them will understand calories, macros, how to track the food, how to be flexible with it, how to work things in, how to diet. It is very, very seldom they turn around and go, oh no, just do carnivore. And the ones that you see that are like pushing a carnivore diet or a keto diet have either gone back on it, like Paul Saldino, the guy who made the carnivore book, has funnily enough turned around and said, I was wrong. And then Liver King
always makes me laugh when they do like, I'm experimenting with bringing carbs back in, as in like, no, you've just realised you've
he's called it the animal diet now, I think he's called it, where he started to reintroduce carbs and stuff like that because he realised it was fucking him up. And then like Liver King, who pushes the carnivore stuff as well, I mean, he's completely off in space.
Have you watched his
Netflix, I have seen that. I've never followed him, but I used to dip in and out of his socials. Obviously, when he started calling out Joe Rogan all the time for a fight and turning up in Texas, and he's been arrested multiple times, like I've stopped looking at his stuff because it's actually like it's past the point of being like fucking hell, he's mental, like he's got issues. It's like no,
he's mental.
He just genuinely actually needs someone to. He does. You need to go get help and support.
No,
because you are in the middle of an absolute breakdown.
Yeah.
Like there's something. He's obviously very, very unwell.
Absolutely insane. I mean that, and people are probably exploiting him a bit now.
Oh, 100%.
Like the Netflix thing. But when he said that the first time he ever, shot his load was on a bench press, I was like,
he's just saying that for fucking
what's going on?
He's just saying that for views and clicks, or he's been told to say that, whatever. But he is. Yeah, he's completely.
No, it was the same for you, wasn't it?
It was the same for me, mate. Yeah, it was exactly the same for me.
Okay. Anyway.
So so you kind of look at these people that, okay, well, who's a big advocate for this particular diet, and how long have they been pushing it for? 9 times out of 10, they stick around for 1 to 2 years max if they're really good with it, and then they tend to dissipate. Even bloody Eggy Aboo's He's nowhere near got the notoriety or the fame that he used to have. I'm not saying he still doesn't follow it. He was also background of being a very successful bodybuilder in very good shape, doing all the other stuff before going into this. Point being, if you look at anybody with any degree of common sense who has some flexibility, who is in good shape, who you do look at and think, I'd love to look like them or something close to them, and they're all doing the same thing, which is they understand nutrition, they know how to track the food, they know what macros are, they know what calories are, they still go out for normal meals.
Don't follow fads, they don't do that.
When they need to diet, they'll do it, they'll dial in, they'll push everything to one side, or as much as they can, they'll get the job done. Because this is the thing that like we try to teach with coaching. Whether you're dieting or whether you're gaining, 90% of what we ask people to do is the same thing, right? Tracking your food, understanding your meals, aiming for high protein, getting plenty of fruit and veg in, managing your carb and your fat intake, getting to the gym, getting your steps in. The only difference is whether you're dieting or you're gaining, for the most part, is the amount of food that you eat.
It's portion sizes. Yeah. Literally.
Or we might be a bit more restrictive in a diet with less socials and a bit more flexible in a gaining phase, whatever, in a performance phase when we can be. And then there might be a little bit around when we've got more food. Okay, let's put more carbs towards your training window. Let's look at, a little bit around that. But apart from that, that is it.
Like I say, you look at the people who stand the test of time in like the online world or who wherever, just in like the fitness world in general. It's all the people who do this, right? Like you say, the Eddie Abus of the world, the Liver King, they've probably made the millions and fucked off, to be fair, but like they get, eventually, like they get found out, and like that's where people start to realize it's a load of shit and they just disappear. Whereas actually the people, and they might not have as many followers, they might not be as well known because they're not quite as abrasive on social media and stuff like that, but the people who are really the ones that you should be looking at, the ones who have been here for 10, 20 years, like who are just doing it over and over again, constantly in great shape, getting people into great shape, doing that. They're doing the things that we're talking about. They're not doing the fads. They're not looking for the shortcuts.
Yeah.
But they're never going to get the most. You're just not going to get the clicks, the views. Like people want the shortcuts, but
so I guess the point is in 2026, brackets,
2027,
2028, 2029. If you're not just wanting to drop some weight and get into better shape, but you actually want to keep it or be able to build off of it, yes, it's a pain in the ass to, fucking hell, I'm going to have to figure out how to track my food. I'm going to have to figure out what calories are and what macros are, and I'm going to have to figure out how to sort of split that across my day. It's going to take a bit more upfront work, and it is a bit of effort, and it should be a bit of effort. Otherwise, everybody would be in great shape. But be willing to do it instead of just saying, and I know you get this a lot because I get it a lot, I just want something that I want to have to think about. That's great. That's what coaching's for. Like, it takes the thinking away from you, but you still learn as you're going because you're still understanding.
There's still got to be intention with what you're doing. There's got to be intention. Otherwise, what's the point? And like, just kind of similar topic, but like one of my clients said to me last week, because she got herself into really good shape last year for a wedding. So we pretty much dieted from like January to September. Unbelievable shape. A couple of weeks after her wedding, she was still coaching. She was still like focusing on herself. We were in a different phase, like more maintenance, etc. And she said she went out for some drinks with friends, and like one of her friends said to her, like, why are you still like doing this? Why are you still eating like healthy and like going to the gym and stuff? Like, your wedding's over now. And I was like, that actually blows my mind. And she said the same to me. She was like, I couldn't believe that. Like, she said that to me. I was like, not like, she didn't want offended by it. Like, it just shows like the way that people think. It's like, you just do it for one thing. It's like, no, like, surely. No, it's obviously great to feel great on your wedding day, but I think by the time, especially when you've done it for so long, you realise what it does for you, like how good it makes you feel. Like, you're not just trying to get in shape for one day or one holiday. Like, surely it's something you want forever, right?
Yeah.
Blows my mind, that. So anyway.
Yeah. So avoid them. Basically.
Avoid them. Download our Softer Shredded 6-week fat loss challenge.
Yeah.
Learn how to do shit properly. Link in the bio.
Every occasion you this week, haven't you? You just got them.
Lighted, mate.
You have, yeah. Yeah. Now, there'll be a link below.
Link below.
I'm asking you. I'm the one that fucking puts them up. Yeah. There will be a link.
Jake will put a link below.
Yeah, I'll put a link below, and you can just get started for free, and you'll probably get bombarded by us a little bit more, but just with helpful advice. Well, we'll say something.
Yeah.
Helpful is a stretch. And that's pretty much it for another week.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
See you in the next one.